I gotta figure that out. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on? What's poppin'? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So listen, I'm gonna tell you how you can get a woman obsessed with you. How you get a girl to really be feeling you, right? So
what's going
the other
on,
day I was
everybody?
talking to a friend and she was like, "Yo, Mr.
www.themanmindset.com. It's
Locario,
your
I just
boy,
need
the
to know, like,
Dean.
how do you get
Class
these girls
is
hooked,
in
man? How do you
session.
get them to really?"
You know what, guys? What I want to talk to you guys today about is attraction. And the thing for a lot of you guys is that you think you get a pass straight to attraction immediately. That's not going to happen. In order to do that, guys, you have to make sure you get curiosity.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to the Dating Advice Hour with your hosts, Mr. Locario and Steve the Dean Williams. This show will teach you how to keep conversations going, how to be more attractive, more confident, more masculine, how to be better at knowing what to say to a woman, and have a more satisfied dating and sex life. Mr. Locario is the bad boy of the dating game. BadBoyMembership.com is where you can go to step up your game, as Mr. Locario provides you with detailed step-by-step dating advice, audio-video tutorials every month. Steve the Dean Williams has been teaching men about dating, sex, and manhood for over 25 years. From building yourself to having the perfect marriage, his website is www.themanmindset.com. The call-in number is 515-605-9373. That's 515-605-9373. Take it away, guys.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Myself in the bad
What
boy
up?
of the dating game, Mr. Locario, the one and only, man. Mr. Locario, how are you doing today, sir? What's going on, man?
I'm chilling. What's going on with you? All right.
Man, I can't call it, man. It's the weekend. Time to get these guys straight for an hour, man.
That's what's up. That's how we gotta do it.
I know,
That's
guys.
how we gotta do it.
There's only one way to do it, but to do it. Guys, y'all want to call in, the number is 515-605-9373. That is 515-605-9373. Make sure you press 1, and we'll be happy to bring you in. Ms. Locario, do you want to go first, or do I want to go? What do you want to do, Ms. Locario?
Yeah, I can go first.
All right, let's eat.
All right. So this one right here, it says, so I've been talking to this chick since May. It's been long distance. She lives in Utah. I live in Ohio. It's been cool. We would talk every day. Now, I plan to meet her in September, but before I booked the flight, I wanted to know where her head is. As our convo started getting shorter, so I asked if she's interested in anyone, and she replied she dates here and there, but nothing serious as of yet. I asked if she had sex since May, and she replied no. I really don't believe her, even though she claims she was being honest. My question for you is, what should I do? Okay, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, boy. How long has he been talking to her for?
He's been talking to her since May.
June.
And it's what now? August now?
Yeah, June, July, August. So we're 3 months. Okay.
Right.
Here's my issue, Mr. Locario. I really, truly believe, big dog, that within the first, not even the first week, I'm saying the first few conversations is when you truly lay out the tracks of what y'all are going to be or where you're going. The problem I have with this,
Right.
Yeah, so the problem I have with this individual right here, fam, is that he is in a friend zone or she's not interested in him. Because if she's truly interested in him, the questions that he's asking her are things that he wouldn't even have to ask those questions. Because if it's been 3 months and someone's interested in you, they should be already talking about sex, sucking dick, fucking,
Right. Right.
just all kind of nasty stuff. But this is very important for you guys to know when the iceberg hits your Titanic. Sometimes it's going to take a while, but you are slowly sinking. That's what he's doing, Mr. Locario. And he should have bailed out months ago because he's if he has to ask. Matter of fact, that's even another problem. Asking a woman, Mr. Locario, you never ask a woman if she's fucked somebody. I don't understand where that even came from, Mr. Locario. But anyway, man, what's your take on that, man?
Right. No, it's funny because I was about to say that. It's like he's already he's like he seems like he's already showing way too much like interest and way too much like he's already about her and they haven't even started nothing yet. Like nothing's really going on with these two. And he's like asking all these questions like, hey, you seen anybody else? Or you having sex with anybody else? And so he's putting himself in a position to where he's like, he's probably going to end up getting played because now she sort of sees already his hand in the way what's going on with her. See, I think a lot of times guys got to understand that when you're dealing with a girl, it's all about you. And I've said this, plenty of times. It's all about you leading and orchestrating the situation. So if he's talking to her and he's like, all right, let me see what's good with this girl or whatever. And he's somebody who's going out, he's going to fly out to see her and all this other stuff and do all this other craziness. And I'm like, first of all, you've been talking to her for way too long already. Like there hasn't been any established where she's like really trying to get at him on something. Like just like you said, like where's the sex talk? Where's the I'm excited. I'm so excited to see you, so I could do this and do that to you. Like where? Like you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like there's none of that excitement with what he's saying. It seems like she's just talking to him because she's bored. She likes the attention, but she's not really about him. He's more about her than she is about him. You feel what I'm saying? She should be the one asking him. She should be asking him, hey, are you seeing anybody else? She should be the one asking, hey, did you have sex with somebody else and all this other stuff? You see what I mean? Because those type of questions are showing more of the interest. Because usually you have two reasons why people ask the questions. One is they're trying to ask you questions because they're evaluating you and trying to like see what you're about. And two, they're asking questions because they're the one who's more interested. You see what I'm saying? So the person who's usually more interested a lot of times is asking all these questions like, so what are you doing and what's going on and what's this and what's that and what's that? So he's already showing like way too much of that interest, and she's not really. It don't seem like she's sort of reciprocating, especially with the answers she's giving. Because he's like, hey, are you seeing anybody? And she said, I'm dating someone here or there. And then he asked her, hey, did you have sex? And then she's replying like just a simple no or whatever. You understand? So it's not like a lot of times I feel like when women are into a guy, what she does is she tries to curb her responses or curb like the stuff that she says to make herself look even more available and innocent. So if I'm asking you, hey, you fucking with a whole bunch of guys, and you're like, yeah, I'm fucking with guys here or there, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, usually women will try to pretend like it's nothing or nothing's happening because they actually like you that much. You see what I mean? Because they're not sure if you're going to judge them on that. But if they don't give a fuck that you judge them, usually, it's because they're not really that into you. Now, if, you might come across a girl here or there who's just that confident. She don't give a fuck if a dude's judging her. But generally, it's because, she's trying to make herself look the best. And from her responses, it seems like her interest level isn't that high if she's sort of responding to him in this way anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if he's really trying to see her or do something, I feel like he should, do something, but don't take it too seriously. I feel like he's taking it too seriously, and he's going to be one of those dudes that if he jumps, and tries to make something happen, he's going to get played or, be in a position he don't want to be in. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that shit.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you can talk to a woman for like 3 months and y'all haven't even like talked about fucking. I mean, you just had no new
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm
photos,
like.
no videos.
Right.
Damn,
Right. Like he's asking her about other dudes. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
her
man.
basically being with other dudes. Like that's crazy.
It's like what
I
what
don't know.
what part of the game is that? So I don't know, but 515
I don't.
515-605-9373 is the number. Press 1. Well, I got a kind of a long story. It's a long one, so bear with me, Ms. Locario. Let's read the.
Right.
Oh boy, it's kind of long. I'm trying to. Okay, here we go. So I've been hanging out with this girl for a while. We were just hanging out as friends for a couple of months. We used to see each other at least once a week, occasionally 2 or 3 times. We really went climbing, slack lining. I don't even know what that is, or worked out together. I had asked her a couple of times to do some more along the lines of a date, but she always would say she was busy. Then one day, my friend who knows this girl well told me she told him she was seeing somebody. So I confronted her and I told her I liked her. And she then ended up telling me that she was seeing someone and she would never go out with me and we could be friends. Man, all right. Remember this, okay? Remember, he's been out with her a few times. Anyway, she comes from a strict Jewish family, and I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it. I was kind of confused and shocked that she would have mentioned anything like this to me before. She would always have a kind of flirtatious with me, such as asking me to stretch with her and compliment my eyes and my body and my personality traits. So to say the least, I was quite hurt. Since then, I don't really talk, but we went climbing once. After I stopped texting her to hang out, however, she recently texted me to go climbing, and I ended up we couldn't because the place was closed. Since then, we haven't talked. Today, though, I saw her at Starbucks, like a block from my place, and I thought it was pretty weird. I told her that I lived in that area and like multiple times, and it's possible she forgot, but I kind of doubt it. I just thought it was weird to see her by herself, and she didn't even live in the area. And I always texted her. Now, this is what he's saying. Almost done, Locario. I'm sorry. This is a blimp of the combo. Me, did I just see you at Starbucks, or was I hallucinating? Her, LOL, yes. Were you driving? Him, neat. Just chilling a block from my place. If I don't know any better, I'd call you a stalker. Yeah, I was, and I saw you eating something with a spoon, though I wasn't sure it was you, because I couldn't imagine you eating a food that requires that utensil. Oh my God, her. It's almost over. Nice. Didn't know you lived here. You could still call me a stalker. I was eating a nectarine without a spoon. I don't even fuck. So you might have been partly hallucinating. And then here's his last question. I was curious about her saying, you can still call me a stalker. Oh my God. Is that her flirting or not? I might be overthinking this sentence. I mean, just anyway, just what can he do, dog? What's your take on that, Mr. Cario?
Oh man, this guy, like and so this chick already told him that she's seeing some other dude and she got a boyfriend or something, and he's still trying to like holler at her. Is that
after 2 or 3 dates or hangouts?
She said that, hey, I got a boyfriend and all that other dumb shit.
Later on.
Wow. See, man, it just seems like he's dealing with a chick who is, she just likes the attention. You got to see. I always tell guys, don't ever underestimate how powerful attention is to women. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that the difference between a woman being an attention whore and a woman who's actually trying to make something happen with you is that when you put her in a situation for her to actually respond to make something happen, she actually makes it happen if she's about it, and if she's not about it, she's just going to play games and just be on some attention or stuff. So his problem is that I don't think he's ever put her in a situation where she has to sort of put up and shut up. And what I mean is that he hasn't really said anything or done anything for her to have to make a move in order for anything to happen. He's just sort of, lurking around, just sort of like, yeah, I'm here. What's up? How you been? But he's not really pushing the envelope. He's not really saying like even in that whole conversation, he's like, hey, I saw you, at the Starbucks. He should have been like, look, you're a block away from my house. Come through to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to be able to like start asking questions or saying statements that will propel her to have to respond to those statements, which will get her to either, like do something with him, or for her to fall back or just, be on some attention shit. So it's like right now she's just in the space where she can basically just get the attention and flirt with him a little bit here, and at the same time not be sort of in a position to even have to do anything. You see what I mean? And that's a good space for most women to be in, because what it does is it gives them wiggle room to sort of play around with you. And then maybe later on, let's say something happens with the guy she's dealing with, or she's not messing with him anymore, or, she's bored or whatever. She still has, that window of opportunity to deal with you on her time. But that's not how you want it to be as a man. You want it to be, hey, listen, this is what I'm trying to do. Are you down? Are you not down? If you're down, cool. If you're not, I'm going to keep that shit moving. And that's what he needs to do. He has to, step up and put that out there and say, yo, what's good? Let's make something happen. And if she's down with it, she's going to make it happen. If not, then he got to just keep that moving. But at this point, if she says she's messing with some other dude, or, she's with some other guy, he should have charged that to the game at that point. And then if she would have came after him later on, then that's a different story if, she wasn't messing with the guy that she's with now. But, that's what I think about the situation,
Well, Miss Locario, well, let me tell you, man. This shouldn't have even been. This shouldn't have been a text. This shouldn't have even gone to the second time. You remember they went out two or three times. Or three times. You're going out with a woman two or three times, and you're just hanging out with her. Right. You have never laid your. He didn't let her know what. See, when you're about, I always say, Miss Locario, you got two kinds of guys. You got guys like us that'll tell a woman what is. This is what is. This is how I feel. This is what I think. What you gonna do?
Right.
But then you have guys like this who are who are in what I call the hope business. They hope she likes it. They hope the sun, moon, and stars line up and she's interested. He hopes by the third date that she's going to fall, trip over a rock, and fall in his arms, and they're going to make love like they do in the movies. They're in this hope business. And then when he finds out, like you say, he finds out from a friend that she's seeing somebody, and then he goes and then all of a sudden he has the balls to go up to her and then tell her that let me see, what did he say? No, he said, excuse me, I confronted her. What do you what do you why are you confronting her over what? Y'all were just friends. And then all of a sudden, after all this time telling her I like her, and then all of a sudden her telling her that she's seeing someone, and here's the key thing. She would never go out with me and we can only be friends. Don't you think this could have been prevented before he wasted his time, his gas, and his money on this woman?
Right, exactly.
This could have all been prevented, big dog. But you're telling, so Mr. Carr, you're telling me that all of a sudden you want to be Big Dick McGriff, go and tell her you like her after the third time, after you find out she likes somebody. Why even do that, Mr. Carr? If I would have put my bid in the beginning, she would have told me she has a boyfriend, yada, yada, yada. I would have tried to talk to that pussy a little bit, see if she was down. She wouldn't. I'm gone.
Right.
I'm gone.
Right. And that's what I was saying, where it's like, yo, there was within all that stuff, he never really pushed the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Like, from that first time they went out, that's when he should have tried to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? And if it wasn't happening, then keep it moving. Then when he found out he got a dude or whatever, you know what I mean? And then this is the time when he sort of seemed like he's trying to do something. It's like by that point, it don't even make any sense anymore. You know what I mean? And also too, I think guys forget that, the way that you start, you know what I mean, is how she's going to interpret the whole situation. So if you started out being on some, friend zone stuff or some weak type of stuff or whatever, she's looking at you like, she's not really taking you seriously in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of like you messed up everything from that point. So this is why you got to be on point from the jump. Let her know what it is from the jump. Tell her what you're trying to do from the jump instead of like lollygagging around it, and then things don't work out like it needs to.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, and you're right, and that's my whole thing, Mr. Locario. If I would have saw her at Starbucks as I'm driving by, I would have been like, "What's going on, sexy? How you doing, baby girl? How's that body?" I would have talked shit to her. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm not hallucinating or anything like that. And when you do all that, it shows why she wants to be friends with you. And the fact that she just said, what was the key word that he asked? This right here. What did he say? Considered. What did he say? Wait. Oh yeah, I was curious about her saying, "You could still call me a stalker." How can she be stalking you when she doesn't want to have anything to do with you and she's not showing you any type of interest, Mr. Locario? How can that be a stalker?
Right. And he's mistaking her attention whoring for flirtation. You hear what I'm saying? Because she's just saying all that, whatever she's saying in that moment, because it's cute to say it, oh, this guy's talking to me now, so let me just, do this for this moment. But it's not really, going, it's not following through to anything. Nothing's really happening. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. And again, these are the problems you have when you don't step up to the plate. But all right, Mr. Locario, it's your turn, fam.
Right.
This is
all right. Cool. So this one says, my situation goes like this. When I speak to a woman, it's all cool. We have a nice conversation. I get also sometimes get her number. But at this point, it seems to fail. I text with them a few days, and when I ask for a date, they always got no time. In a way, I think they're not even interested. Am I boring, or what is my problem? All right. So what's your
wait? When he does what, Mr. Carter? What did he say? What does he text?
He said I would text them within a few days, and when I ask for a date, they always say they don't have any time. And he said, in a way, I think they're not even interested. He said, am I boring, or what else is my problem? So basically, he's saying he talks to these girls, he gets their number, he tries to set dates up, and then they don't hit him up. They kind of flake or whatever.
And this card, Miss Locario, this is why I tell guys to always get her number. I mean, give your number out. Mm-hmm. Always,
right.
Because it simplifies everything. Because if I give her my information and she texts me or gets in touch with me, that's a small little signal to see what's going on. But when he does it, again, he's wasting his time. Because, I'm not saying not to go ahead and get her number, but here's the problem. What is he saying to her before, or what is he saying to her during the meeting, the first time he meets her the first time? Is he putting his bid in? Right. Is he telling her, you know what, I'm interested in you, and yes, I want to go out with you? What is he saying? Why is he waiting for the last minute? Here's the next question, Mr. Locario. Is he talking to her any, or is he just coming with a cold text? Because sometimes women are not going to be keen on cold texting. If y'all don't know what cold texting is, guys, that's when you just out of the blue send a message to a woman who you've not warmed up, not marinated, or thawed out. You just all of a sudden say, hey, boom, why don't we go out? And some women may find that offensive. Some women might be turned off by that. But you can tell that he doesn't know what he's doing. And I think his problem is I would have asked that guy right there, Mr. Cario, what was your approach? What did you say to her? How did you say it? And what happened when you asked for her number? And then the next thing I would say is, once you got her information, what did you say afterwards? Or did you just come out and ask for the date? Those are things I would ask, big dog.
Right. Nah, I feel you on that too. And this is why sometimes like questions like these are hard to answer, because, you know, a lot of it has to do with the little intricacies of what's going on in the situation. Like you said, like, you know, when you first approaches her and talks to her, you know, what is he saying? And then also, because he said, hey, you know, I texted him for a few days and then I asked for the date or whatever. But it's like, what are you saying in those few days when you texted him? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's really going on? Because that can determine why the girl is. Because at first, maybe let's say she's interested. Then you text her some goofy or something weird, or you just texting her about nothing. And, you know, and then she loses interest. So by the time you say, hey, let's go out, she's like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you're just over texting. You're texting too much. That's why I be telling guys a lot of times, if you're just trying to set up a date with a chick, yo, just get the information, or give her your information when she hits you up, or when you hit her up, set a date, and then just see her on the date. You know what I mean? And so there could have been times where he got her number, texting her, but he's not really texting her anything. Or he's texting her too much stuff about nothing that's ruining her, like, you know, level of attraction for him. You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell guys, you know, when you meet a chick, a lot of times, let's say if she is interested in you, she's sort of wondering, okay, I wonder what he's about. I wonder how he is. And then by you over texting and doing all this other stuff, even though you never meant to sort of like convey a certain thing, she's going to assume you are a certain way based off of all those things you're texting her, or the frequency that you're texting her. Because she's thinking, why is this guy texting me all day? Doesn't he have anything to do? Like, is he, you know, doesn't he have a job? Like, what's going on with this guy? You know what I mean?
Or a life.
So
right, or life.
Right. Like, it's like you don't got a life. Like, what's going on with you? You know what I mean? And then so that could be the thing that makes him say, oh, you know, while you say, hey, let's get together, and she's like, no, or she doesn't respond or whatever. So, yeah, I agree. Like, you know, a lot of it has to be, you know, with, you know, what he's doing. And it's interesting because even in his email, he said, he asked the question, am I boring? Right? And so that leads me to believe that he might think he's boring. And then since he might think he's boring, what a lot of people do is, like, if they think they're boring or they think that they're not that interesting, sometimes what people do is that they overcompensate, meaning that they'll try to do things or say things to make themselves look not boring because they think they might be boring. So they're like, and so instead of saying, hey, let me just hit her up and set a date, he's like, I got to hit her up every day and talk to her and show her that I'm cool and show her that I'm exciting and write some cute shit. You know what I'm saying? And then so that right there could be a thing that's making him lose out on the dates because he's just doing way too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, absolutely. 515-605-9373 is the number. 515-605-9373 is the number. Press 1 if you want to call and have a question. Mr. Locario, you up, man? What you got, man?
Oh, no, you up. Is your turn?
It is my turn. I'm up. Okay,
right?
Shit, my bad, man.
Yeah.
Shit, my bad. All right. Let me get to the next one. All right, here we go. Here's the question. How long is a reasonable chat how long is reasonable to chat online before meeting in person? I feel that if you're in the same city and despite work being busy, you should be able to meet 1 or 2 weeks at a time if nobody's on vacation. But I do notice the trend of people looking for text buddies. Well, what is that? Okay. What would be considered reasonable and not just someone multi-dating and not committing? What the fuck is a text buddy, Mr. Locario? Do you know what that is?
Right. Well, that's basically when you meet these people online, like Tinder or OkCupid or one of these joints, and it's like a person that just wants to text back and forth, but they never want to meet up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just trying to. They just sort of. It's basically like attention whoring. At the end of the day, it's like you talk to this chick, and she you try to set something up, and then she might be like, "Oh, can we talk on here more and get to know each other here more?" So then you end up texting her back and forth on those websites. But see, but his question was like, how long do you need to text before you actually meet up? Is that what he's saying?
He's saying the question is that how long is a reasonable chat online? Well, I guess talking
Right.
online before meeting in person.
Right. Well,
And
this is what I always say, man. It's like you want to meet the person as soon as possible. If you can, like, let's say if you match with someone on Tinder or somebody OkCupid sends you a message or whatever, if you're not busy that night and they're not busy that night, then you can try to meet them that night. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be texting and going back and forth for a week and then getting to know each other over text. It's like, nah, it's like, hey, what are you up to tonight? Let's go grab a drink. Here's my number. Text me your number. So once she texts you her number, you say, okay, cool. Meet me at the spot over here, and I'll be there at 9:00 or whatever. It's really that simple. You know what I mean? Like I've had situations like that where I literally like match with someone on Tinder, and then I say, yo, what you doing tonight? You know what I mean? And then we get together, and it's literally like 3 or 4 or 5 messages. It's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? What are you up to? This evening. He's like, oh, I'm chilling. I'm just hanging out. Hey, we should get together and get a drink, tonight, if you're free. And then she's like, yeah, I'm free, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Here's my number. Text me right now. And if she texts me and I say, hey, I'll meet you at so-and-so. And it's literally, we're just planning a date at that point. You know what I mean? So it's really all about you knowing how to orchestrate the situation offline as soon as possible. See, the thing is, you don't want to be texting back and forth about nothing, because then that makes it makes the situation go stale. It's all about the momentum to keep it up, really, really, keep it going. Now, you're gonna have those girls who are the quote unquote text buddies, meaning or they're trying to make you a text buddy, meaning she's gonna say shit like, so let's say you match with a girl or you send a girl a message and you say to her, you might say, hey, what part of the city you live in. You might have a little small talk back and forth for like 2 messages, and then you try to say, hey, let's meet up this week or this weekend. And then so she's going to say, oh, can we talk on here more and all this other stuff. So that's a sign of a woman who's trying to be your text buddy, who's just going to be texting back and forth. You understand? So what I usually would say in those situations, when a chick is like we're saying, oh, can we get to know each other more, this and this and that, what I would say is at that point, that's when you say, hey, listen, here's my number. Hit me up, because I'm not usually on this app or I'm not usually online. It's better to hit me up on my phone. So, text, call me right now so we could talk or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So when she calls you, then you just say like maybe 1 or 2 things, and then you set the date at that point. So it's still you trying to get her offline, period. Like you don't want to sit there and go back and forth and follow sort of like her program of trying to make something happen where she wants to just text you all day. You know what I mean? So, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think my problem with this, Mr. Locario, is I don't want that's the thing. I don't want guys to fall into that cycle of being text buddies. I don't want you.
Right.
I don't want you even thinking about becoming text buddies with somebody, because once you're in that circle, that's just as bad as a friend zone, because she's only using you when she has nobody else when she has nobody else to talk to. Then she's looking for you just to use you just for texting time. I never want
Exactly.
I never want these guys to fall in that situation and scenario. So what I would say for this guy, like we said before, you got to stop sitting around and trying to be trying to be any type of friends with these women. There's one thing about us, we're friendly. That covers the friend part. We're friendly, but we're still trying to go after her and let her know that we want to get with her. And it's not a bad, I think a lot of guys think that, well, if I'm too forward with her, that I'll lose her. Well, guess what, Miss Locario? You're gonna lose her if you're not too forward with her, because she's gonna get
Right.
this idea or this thought that you don't want to get with her, and all you want to be is her friend. And I think that's a lot of problems a lot of guys are having, and that's why we try to express to you young men out there that is very important. Look, there are too many women out there to for you to sit around and work all this time, energy, and effort into somebody, Mr. Lucario, that is not interested in you or has no idea that you're interested in her. Because women are, look, she knows that you might be interested, but she'll realize once you take that route of being nice and kind and friendly, she's like, oh, okay, well, hey, this is a new brother, or this is a new friend I can have and hang out with.
Right. Right.
Stop doing it, guys. Stop doing it. All right, Miss Cario, it's on you, fam.
Right. All right. So this one says, I'll be in Walgreens, Walmart, and other retail stores, and I notice a lot of women in these stores. Do you have any tips for when you're in the store or in the aisle or in the parking lot or even online to be able to go and talk to these women? All right. So what's your thoughts? He's like, how do you talk to chicks in those situations?
The same way you talk to them in Walgreens is the same way you should talk to them online. It's the same way you should talk to them when they're in Mars or Jupiter or Pluto. The problem is, the problem is, Mr. Lucario, these guys are complicating something that's not complicated at all. You're trying to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is fine. The problem isn't her. The problem is you. And the problem these guys are going to have, Mr. Lucario, is that when they meet a woman, they're so worried about what to say and what to do, sir, that they're going to screw up their chances of showing her any kind of interest, because they're going nervous. I don't know what to say. Well, what do I say? What do I do? You talk to her.
Right.
Talk to her. That the thing that Lucario and myself do with women is that we talk to them. That's the key. But not just talking to them, Mr. Lucario. I'm letting her know what is on my mind, what I'm thinking, and what I want to do or expect of this whole interaction that we're having. And I don't think these guys are doing that very well, Mr. Lucario. They're throwing shit up on the wall, hoping something will stick, and then all of a sudden they expect her to either understand where he's coming from or expect her to like him, and that's not how it works in the real world. What do you got on that, fam?
Yeah, and like you said, I like you was talking about how a lot of guys try to complicate the situation, because what it is that you're just talking to a chick like you would talk to her in any situation. Now, there are situations where little things can arise, or you might be in a certain different context or whatever, where you might want to come at it a little differently. You understand? But the thing is if you're in a store, or if you're in a parking lot, or you're online or something like that, it's not necessarily that much of a different. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not that much of a different vibe. It's not that much of a different situation to where you need to switch it up that much, because it's just a regular everyday sort of situation. Like, okay, you might be going grocery shopping and you see a chick and you're just like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to holler at a chick at a funeral. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not like you're trying to holler at a chick, I don't know, while she's at work or something. There's different situations where you might want to come at it a little different. But in this situation, it's just like an everyday occurrence where you would see a random girl that you would run into while you running your errands and doing whatever it is. So you just approach her and say, yo, what's up? How you doing? Just have a conversation, see what it is, post the deal, and make something happen. So I think that a lot of times, like you're saying, if you are being way too complicated, or making it complicated, or thinking, damn, I got to come at it a different way in every situation, because then you're going to start thinking of everything. It's like, oh, how do I approach a woman on the bus? How do I approach a woman on the train? How do I approach her on a plane? How do I approach her while I'm eating green eggs and ham? All that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
it's you making it way too complicated. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that serious. Just, go up, have a conversation, and see what is going to happen through that situation. It's really that simple. Because if a girl is feeling you, she's going to be feeling you regardless if you talk to her in the supermarket or you talk to her at the bar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're still the same dude, so you just holler at her and see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stop complicating this, and it's not that complicated. All right, man. It's on you, fam.
Right. Let me see. Oh no, it's your turn. Go ahead. I just did that one.
All right. Oh,
you got any more questions?
Is it me? Yeah. No, I got.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got 1, 2. I got 3 more just in case. So.
Right. I got another one.
Okay, I got one in the chamber. All right, all right, we got one in the chamber, and then we'll do yours. And if we don't have no calls, we can just wrap it up. But let me go ahead and read this last one. Okay, so I was out on a walk this morning. I encountered this beautiful woman who is getting out of her car and starts walking away. After we passed each other, I naturally looked back after a second for another looked at what I saw, so I decided to get a second look. When I caught her looking back as well. Thinking I got caught checking her out, I quickly looked forward again nervously. As I turned the corner, I caught her turning around again looking at me. At this point, we were pretty far apart. I couldn't tell if she was smiling or anything like that. In your opinion, do you think she was checking me out? Let me see. In your opinion, do you think she was checking me out or giving me the stink eye for checking her out?
Yo, listen. If the fact that she's looking at you and keep looking at you, you know what I'm saying? That's the go ahead to make something happen. You understand? Because the thing is, most of the time, if a woman's not interested in the guy, or she's not really choosing him, or she's not checking him out, or whatever. Like if she has no sort of interest in you, she doesn't really care that you're there, she's not going to look at you. You understand? She's just going to ignore you, pretty much. You understand? Like, if she has no sort of interest, she's going to ignore you. So the fact that she was looking at you, if she was giving you the stink eye or not, or whatever it is, the fact is that she was looking at you. So what guys got to understand is that you need to be able to use what's happening in the situation to your advantage. So the fact that she was even looking in your direction, you need to take advantage of that. This is why some guys have the philosophy of only, they're like, oh, I'm not going to approach a girl unless she looks at me, because they have that, well, if she's choosing me, then I'm going to go and approach. So, I always say approach a woman regardless, period. But if you do have the chick looking at you or looking in your direction or looking in your eye, giving you eye contact, that's the time to go ahead, because you can just use that right there to start the conversation. Like, you could have walked right back up to her and said, hey, you're just going to look at me and not say, hi, what's good? What's going on with you? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You just start the conversation with what's going on in that situation, because now what's happening is that y'all are actually having a moment together where y'all are basically acknowledging each other's existence. So now, with that acknowledgement, it's easier for you to approach and do what you got to do. You see what I mean? So, I would say, he should have really tried to holler at her, regardless, because who knows if she's giving you the stink eye or not. The fact is that she's looking at you. She's looking in your direction, so take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Oh yeah,
Right.
I just feel, I don't know. For me, real quick, I just feel like a lot of these guys just don't go after the thing that they want. Why are you looking back? There's the worst thing you could do is look back at something you want, let it go by, and not even talk to it, man. To me, that's more frustrating than anything, and that'll literally drive me up a wall. So I would definitely, would have definitely went over there and tried to talk to her, but I don't think it was a stink eye, because if she's looking at you, to me, she's saying, what are you going to do? What are you gonna do now?
Right,
I see you looking at me. I'm looking back at you. I'm interested in you. What are
right.
you
Like
gonna do? Right.
exactly.
So,
Right. Nah,
uh,
real talk.
yeah, no doubt. So we'll get to the last email. If y'all want to call in, 515-605-9373. That's 515-605-9373. Press 1 if you want to talk to us. If not, Locario, this is the last one. If we ain't got nothing, we going to roll. So what you got, fam? What's the last one you got?
All right, cool. Cool. So this one says, how do you tell the difference between a chick who is not comfortable initiating so soon because of nervousness and anxiety versus a chick playing games? How long is waiting too long for a nervous chick? Here I make the assumption that the chick is, as you would say, on the fence. Otherwise, she would be able to overcome her nervousness. This girl texts me only and does not want to go any further. We've been talking for 3 or 4 days now online. I understand she lives about 3 hours away from me, so I'm trying to get her to video chat me first, but she says it all depends on how comfortable I make her, and then she will see. Again, we've only been talking for 3 or 4 days now online. So what's your thoughts on that, Steve?
What's amazing, I guess, that some people don't get and understand, I think, is that there's a saying in the supermarkets or when you go somewhere, if you have to ask the price, then you shouldn't even be in the store.
Right,
and what did you say? She told him that he had to. What did she tell him? What was she saying to him?
She said, so basically, she said that, he was saying he wanted to video chat her, and she was 3 hours away, and he said, he's trying to get her video chat, but she says, depending on how comfortable that he makes her, she will actually see if she's going to come see him.
Dude, I'd have been like, bye. I'd have been like, bye.
Exactly, right.
You don't tell me. How you gonna tell me what I need to do?
Right, exactly.
How you gonna tell?
Exactly.
And you know what, Mr. Cole, the fact that he allowed her to do that, to tell him, shows me that he has no idea what he's doing at all.
Mm-hmm.
He has
real talk.
Yeah, he's lost, and when you're lost, all of a sudden you're letting her dictate the relationship. And if you're letting her dictate the relationship, then there's really no interest there, and he's just wasting his time, man.
Right. And it's crazy because like that's the stuff I'm saying. She said depending on how comfortable that he makes her, she will see if they could go to hang out. And I'm just like, you see, when you dealing with a woman and you are basically doing that, you're following her lead, you're making it about her. Now she's the one in the driver's seat. She's the one, and once that happens, it's already downhill from there. You understand what I'm saying? Because as soon as a woman sees that you're not the type of dude who's about what he's about, you're not masculine, you're not a leader, already she's putting you in that category of someone that she's most likely going to just use for attention, use to probably trick and simp on her, pay her bills, whatever she has in store for you at this moment, because she no longer sees you as a man. You see what I'm saying? See, with him, what he should have done was that, first of all, he said he's talking to her for 3 or 4 days now. There's no reason for him to have been talking to her for 3 or 4 days online. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this is like what I was saying with the other guy who was talking about the online thing. It's like, yo, you contact a chick online, you set up a date immediately when you guys are going to get together and hang out, hook up, whatever it is, right? Now, he's saying that, because his question was, how do you know the difference between a chick that's not comfortable initiating because of nervousness or if she's playing games? You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, though, you got to assert yourself in a way where you're not the type of guy who even worries or cares about that. All you need to say is, listen, here's my number. Because if she says, "Hey, I gotta, see if I'm comfortable enough with you," and blah blah blah, and I'm not sure, and this and this and that. Cool. You know what? Listen, here's my number. You holler back at me when you're comfortable. We'll get together. Period. That's it. I don't gotta talk to you for 3 or 4 days. I don't gotta check in on you. I don't gotta make sure I'm making you comfortable. Nah. Here's my information. When you're ready to make something happen, holler at me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And then I ain't gotta talk to you after that. You know what I mean? Now, if you really want to make something go down, if you want to see me, you're gonna call me. You understand? And that's it. And if you don't call me, then cool. We can keep it moving. But don't all of that like, oh, I gotta, make her comfortable, and then she'll make a decision to see if she wants to bless me with the honor of seeing her after I do all this work and put all this work in to make sure that she's comfortable enough with me to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, that's crazy.
Always remember real quick, if you're nervous, she's gonna be nervous, and that's just the bottom line. So I'm sure she's making them nervous.
Right.
So that's here nor there. All right, guys, we're about to wrap this up, guys. If y'all want to call in, last go round 515-605-9373. Press 1, and we'll love to have you in. Other than that, Mr. Locario, why don't you go ahead and let them know how they can get hold of you, man?
Yeah, man, you guys can check me out at badboymembership.com. Make sure you join the membership where you get 45 to 90-minute audio and video daily advice tutorials every month. Also, make sure you check out my live stream, which is on from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. every Friday on my channel, Locario Fan. Make sure you subscribe, and that's pretty much it. I'll holler at you guys later.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Locario. And if y'all want to check me out, Steve the Dean Williams, www.themanmindset.com. Just go there. We have all the information that you need, guys. We hope that y'all have a good weekend, Mr. Locario. I will see you, big dog, next Friday, man.
All right, man. I'll let you.
All right, no doubt, man. Peace out, man. This is